Good morning, everyone. Damien speaking here from Wimbledon. It's Sunday, the 23rd of June. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification button. Please also hit the like button and tell in case you like the content I'm streaming out today. Today's topic will be Bitcoin and economy and business. Just a little bit limiting the topic because it's so broad and it's like a huge topic you can discuss. I could discuss, and it's covering ages, historic. There could be like I could deliver like a historic view. Or I could deliver like what is economy and Bitcoin and fiat currency and in general, but I don't want to do it. I just would like to narrow my focus today on on June 2019 and what's happening with Bitcoin and why it's important and why you should possibly hold cryptocurrencies and maybe some precious metals like gold and silver. So we at the 23rd of June 2019, just a couple of days ago, Bitcoin passed the $10,000 price limit, and it's going up. And it is another surprise for me because, generally speaking, Bitcoin is cryptocurrencies which has an limited supply. Just it can't be like produced, printed in infinity, like it is the case with fiat currencies, and which happened in the past, specifically during the period of after the period of the Lehman Brothers crisis 2008, where just the currency, the fiat currency supply just tripled and quadrupled and became insane in terms of what the it has became insane in terms of what central banks has done to flood the economy with fresh money. And actually, I would like to make some comparisons between Bitcoin and gold and silver. Both are legitimate alternatives for fiat currencies. Both elements. I have to make some restrictions on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, as they are new asset class. They are not. They haven't been available a couple of years ago. I don't know. I think that the history of Bitcoin is going back to 2009. I'm not sure about it. I don't really care. I know that it's just like quite new and didn't didn't really existed before the mentioned period of time. And so, but there are a lot of similarities. I think that there are like seven different types of criteria which needs to be fulfilled when medium can fulfill its function as a payment measure, as a pay that you can pay with that. And this is that it's convertible, that it's easy to transport, and that the unit is everywhere the same, and so all this similarities. But there is one specific value, and this is what I would like to discuss, which is the intrinsic value, which differs money from currency. So currency is just like everything what you can imagine, and it can just fulfill the function of money, but it does not have this value holding, value maintaining functionality. And with Bitcoin, it's a little bit different because Bitcoin it's built up. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, it's built on internet, so it's depending on an platform. It's depending on the web. So in case where the web wouldn't be there, you wouldn't be able to use Bitcoin. So it is a little bit like a weaker point compared to gold. So there is a limitation in terms of how we can look at this particular requirement, which is the intrinsic value. But one important thing which is comparable with gold and silver, it's not the same, is that it can't be like be produced and that is limited in amount of numbers. So Bitcoin, there is a certain amount of Bitcoin available. The Bitcoin mining is going and on, and it's I think that like three, four. I think that this is like three. Yeah, well, I don't know, 75% or 75% of bitcoins has been mined, but in case the mining will go on and then there is a ceiling and there will be no bitcoin more available, so it's limited. And this is a huge difference in terms in comparing to to fiat currencies, because fiat currencies can be printed into infinity. So what the big problem with fiat currencies that you can inflate, they can devaluate them through inflation. But what usually governments are doing, specifically to fund wars and welfare states programs and different types of stuff, which make the influence of the governments just much higher every time it happens, and it happens every day. So this is like how you need to see it. And yeah, so I've been through hyperinflation in Poland, 1989, I think. I remember buying food like bread and and like basic things for 2 million zloty, which is equals now 200 zloty. And this has been possible, the same hyperinflation, only because this has been fiat currency backed up by nothing. And this can happen every day in our countries. And discussing economy and the current situation in June 2019 needs. I need to mention that our economy is completely, or like mainly, based on that, and this is not a healthy situation. I think that it's on average, when looking at it globally, like 30,000 US dollar, which every citizen of this world is owing owing for something like an average. An average, this depends obviously uh, in where you are in life and how you organize your own finances. If you do have debts, and if you don't, how you organize that. So it's in individual responsibility, but mainly because of this money creation system, which is depending on people borrowing money and creating debt. We are in such huge debts, and this is governmental debt, and which needs to be bailed out by taxes, which puts a high pressure on taxes, specifically when there is a recession. And we are at the moment like somehow on the edge. I think that we are finishing a boom phase, which wasn't really strong. Like I don't know, like a boom phase on steroids, boosted by this quantitative easing, and now we are coming to an end of this boom time, and we will experience a recession, and then the pressure on the budgets in the governments will become higher, and then the pressure on the receiving taxes will become higher, and then this spiral of creating welfare programs to stimulate the economy might occur. And I think this will happen, and it leads to long time depressions, like in the 30s in the US. So again, I'm quite happy about Bitcoin increasing in value. I can just recommend to hold cryptos, and specifically also silver and gold, as an as they are a completely undervalued asset. People are not aware about how much, but we have like something to show up for, so to show as an example. So Bitcoin has increased in value since it has been put in place significantly. So there have been many people who became Bitcoin millionaires just because they just accidentally, possibly many times, hold it this cryptocurrency, and it went up in value a couple of thousand%, and I think 3,000. Don't hold me on the exact number. And then they became like super rich just by investing, like say, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 dollars, euros, or pounds in these cryptocurrencies. And then they experience that Bitcoin went up through this first stage of high rise and to this very, very big bull market, and they became millionaires. So life doesn't have to be that difficult if you understand monetary policy and monetary politics. You will understand that the currency world is in very, very strong trouble. So there has been like when I do throw in some historical dates, so that it would be the 1913 of the creation of the Fed. Then there is the Bretton Woods system from 1944, the International Bank of Settlements, the central banking system, which is spread out across the world, and which is just depending the economy on the on the injections of money, on the injections of money. And this is a highly unfree system, as it is really. Why is it unfair? Because it is centralized. It's like so. I read a book which is called Geldsozialismus. It's in German. It means money socialism, and it's about the system. So it's one. This is actually every transaction, every transaction is half of it is manipulated, because the price is manipulated by inflation. So we can we don't have really real market value. How we could make have a market value when we are comparing when we are buying goods using fiat currencies? It's not possible. For example, the dollar lost its purchasing power around about 98% of its purchasing power got lost since it has been created in 1913, and it has been done by printing money, by designed inflation. And so it's already the proof. This is the evidence. This is the fact of manipulating prices. So nothing more needs to be said, and we are under constant pressure in terms of quantitative easing. The Great Britain actually is the second largest economy, I think, which is debt is in the highest, and just behind the US. So it's like huge amounts. I don't mean it absolutely, but I think it's huge amount of money, 2 trillion pounds or something, which can never ever be paid back, and which rely on the ability of people to pay taxes, which is an enslavement system of people to go to work and pay income tax, and which is like highly unfair. But you need to know about this, and so you can protect yourself. You can buy some cryptos. You can buy silver. You can buy gold, and you can do this stuff. And I'm saying this generally, just because it's important to understand these assets and to learn about it. It's not that easy to understand how you can buy cryptos, but it's simple after you have done some education on that. And there is also a simple strategy. And please, this is not a financial advice, but to hold some cryptocurrencies, and you can also trade them against each other to just get the most out of it, which is possible. But you also can just hold them and wait till things change. Just general information around that. So this is about the economy. So it's a good news that Bitcoin is rising. It's also bad news, because it means that it's confirming that our economy, possibly the real economy and the economy based on fiat currency, is going down. Protecting yourself, it's your own obligation, because I think I listened to this broadcast of Stefan Meloni about this topic, and he is doing a lot of philosophy stuff. I think that I have also other mentors who guided me through this gold, silver, and investing journey much more intensively than Stefan Molyneux did. But he was explaining that there is an existence responsibility in terms of that, because blaming the bankers, blaming the banking system, this is the easy thing to do because people borrow money. So it's just like people, governments, they choose so they vote for governments who then borrow money, which they never pay back because the infrastructure programs they are providing with this with this with this money are too big to be paid off in the period after. And yeah, so that's like the one responsibility. And second responsibility, that people are living over their yeah, so you are living over your woo. What do you say? Yeah, over your means. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this. It's a good thing to be debt free. It's a good thing to be without debts and to possess some protection assets. And with that said, thank you very much for your attention. I hope you're well. I wish you a beautiful Sunday, and I hope very, very much that at the end everything will be well, even if you are living in a very highly manipulated and unfair society. This is what we do. Have a good day. Damien, thank you very much for your attention. Have a good day. Goodbye.